Welcome back. Today is day 4 of our angles relationship unit. Today we'll be defining angles created by a transversal intersecting two lines. Hope you enjoyed the video. Oh yeah, it's that time again. We have some math problems here and we need you to do them now. Pause the video, complete the problems, and return to the video when you're done. So in the first problem, looks like we're just finding the missing angle, so this shouldn't be too bad. Well, I noticed that these are linear pairs, so these have to add up to 180 degrees. So I can do a quick little subtraction. So 180, subtract 107, and we are done with this one. 73 degrees is that measure. So this measure must be 73 degrees. All right, not too bad. In this next problem, I noticed that this right here is a 90-degree angle, so it creates two complementary angles. So you see the little square in there, so which means that this whole angle is 90 degrees, which means if we take 90 degrees and we subtract the 34, that'll give me what's left over. So this will be 56, I believe. So this angle is 56 degrees. All right, next one over. Same thing with this one. I see another pair of complementary angles, so here we go. Because this angle is 90, and we know that because it has that little square right there. All right, perfect. So we are just going to do 90, subtract 58, and we're left with, it looks like 22 degrees. Let's see if that's right. No, 32 degrees. There we go. Perfect. And the last one, that's another linear pair over there. So I see another linear pair, so this should make 180 completely. So this will be 180, subtract 124. What is that? 56 again? Is it 56? I think so. I think it's 56. All right. Little mental math practice. Very good. And there we go. So this is 56 degrees. That's a 5, not a 3. Okay. And that's it for the warm-up. Vocab. Remember, this chapter is all about angle pairs. So we're really naming and identifying and classifying and finding some relationship between the angle pairs. So again, in this problem, we're going to create a transversal. So it says the red line is called the transversal. So we see the red line in each one. But what you should be noticing is something's happening here. So when this happens, what happens? What is our transversal going to do? So the first thing I notice is my transversal intersects two lines. So again, I'm going to say one thing. A line that intersects, I'm going to say two, and it could be two or more lines. In these examples, I should have put a third one on there. I should have had a third one like with 3 different lines, like something like this, and then I could have drawn the transversal, okay? But I want to really focus on the 2 first, because once we understand those, then we can do the rest also, okay? So we're going to go back to that one later on. All right, next thing. So that's what a transversal is. What happens when you have a transversal? What is created? Well, I notice it intersects twice. So I see it intersects the lines, well, once at each line. But the other thing that's really important, it's creating something. So in this problem, it creates 8 angles. Now again, you can say it's going to create more than 8 angles, but I want to show you which ones I'm referring to. So I'm referring to this one: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it created those. When we added that transversal in, that red line, now we have created 8 different angles. And that's going to be very important, because remember, this chapter is about angle pairs, and now we're going to have to start to define some of these pairs. All right, so hopefully you understood that, and let's see what else we can learn. Vocab terms that we're going to need to learn. First one's interior. I'll give you 2 examples, and I use this a lot. I try to define words based on the context that they're given. So it says the interior of her house is messy. The interior. Sally is an interior designer. So what could be a definition for interior? Well, most of the time when my students do this one, they just say interior is going to be the inside. Okay, and that's pretty good. Interior, inside, that would work out. So what I need you to do is I need you to have this part here. I don't need all the examples, but I need this part right here. I need this little piece. Okay, let's look at the next one. He painted the exterior of his house gray. The exterior of my car is rusted. That's just like my car. So I would say that's just going to be just the outside. So, okay, so interior is inside, exterior is outside. Pretty good. But now, how does that apply to our mathematics? How does that even deal with what we're doing right now? Well, what I need you to understand is that when we created this transversal here, we created some regions. And I need you to understand that these regions are going to help us with the rest of our problems. So everything between these lines here, this is called the interior region. This is like the inside. So this is my interior. And the same thing on this third one over here, this is my interior. And the same thing on this one here, but it's kind of sideways, so it's kind of tough. This is the interior, okay? Because again, if we can understand that, then we're going to be able to name things really easy. If we know where the interior is, where the inside is, and the exterior is going to be the outside. So the exterior is going to be out here. So this is exterior. And this is, we have two exteriors, so two parts that are outside. Okay, so that's how we have to see these things. So if you can add those to your notes, if you had a color pencil, it makes it look nice. If not, exterior. And here, exterior also. Sorry, that was horrible. All right, so if you can see that, it's going to really help with the naming as you start naming these angles. We have an interior piece, we have the inside, we have the exterior pieces, and there we go. Two other words that are going to be key for this unit. Alternate is going to be one of them. So here's some examples. Day alternates with night. He alternates between hope and despair. My sister and I alternate in doing the dishes. To alternate jogging and walking. I actually do that all the time when I'm exercising. And so again, a lot of students like to say it's like switching. So we're switching, I don't know, back and forth. Okay, that would be pretty good. Like you're switching, it goes night, then it's day, then night, and then day. You're switching back and forth. All right, so a lot of students use that, and that works pretty well. But this one here, this one's one that's really, it's really challenging, but hopefully these little pictures on the bottom that we added in there is going to make sense. So corresponding. So chapter 16 in the textbook is corresponding to chapter 12 in your novel. It looks like they belong together, they go together, something like that. Miss Lee's classroom is corresponding to Miss Nguyen's classroom on the school map. Well, I don't have a school map, but maybe they're next to each other. I don't know. I'd have to look at the map and know what those are. But this last one is I think this one's the best example. Your seat is corresponding to his seat in the class. Interesting. So usually when you're in the classroom, you know, they might put you in groups of 4, and they would look something like these two little pictures here. So we have these two sets of groups. You know, you'd be like group 1, this would be group 2, and you would have 4 people sitting in your group. All right. So what if this is you? If this is you, all right, that's you. All right, so it says your seat is corresponding to his seat in the classroom. Well, which one would be his seat? Well, his seat would have to be this blue one also. Okay, the colors help, but how do we know it's this seat? Well, basically, you're in the same location, so you're in this. That's what the corresponding is going to mean. It's going to mean that you're in the same relative. Let me write that in there. I like that. Same relative location. Same relative. We could say location or position. Okay, you're basically sitting in, depending on where the front of the class is, but if the teacher was in front, like if the teacher is up here in this area, then you guys are in the back, the teacher's back right, like if you're in the back right corner compared to the teacher. All right, so again, easy way to remember corresponding is think of like a group of four, like 4 chairs, and that you guys are sitting in the same seat. All right, not too bad. Let's put everything together. Let's see if we can put all this together. How does it work with what we're doing? So we notice that we can, I'm going to highlight the transversal again for us. So we have a transversal here. There's my transversal. And what you notice is it created 8 different angles here. So we have 8 angles created by this transversal on those 2 lines. All right, now, important, corresponding. So when we say corresponding, what do we mean by that? We meant in the same relative position. So I'm going to start color coding these. So like this angle right here and this angle right here. I wish I had the one that's not, maybe the highlighter will work. Let's try this one. Highlight, oh, much better. This angle corresponds to this one. They're in the same position, like top right, top right. Let's try orange. Orange would work. Oh, beautiful. 3 and 7. They're in the same corresponding position. Let's do green now. Here we go. 4 and 8 are in the same corresponding position. So again, when we look at this picture right here, those 8 angles, now we're looking for some special pairs. So in this problem, I would say corresponding angles. We're going to give examples. So now there's some corresponding angles in this picture. We can say angle 1 and angle, which one's corresponding? Which one's in the same position as angle 1? Well, angle 5. Think of a group of 4 students in class, and they're in the same seat, like they're sitting in the same location of seats. All right. Angle 2 corresponds to angle 6. Do you see that? They're in the top right, top right. Let's go with the green one now. So angle 4 corresponds to angle 8. And the last one, angle 3, corresponds to angle 7. So these are called corresponding angles. So think about it this way. You have 8 different seats, but you have 2 groups of 4. And now which one maps to the other one? Okay, which one will map to the other one in the same relative position or the same relative location? All right, now let's go over here to the next problem. And that's an important one. That one we're going to build off of really quick, the corresponding angles. All right, next one, alternate interior. So now, what do we say about alternate interior? So first of all, it has the word interior. So if it has the word interior, then I know I'm really dealing with angles that are in between these lines. So I've shaded in these in green right here. So I'm really dealing with these angles. And they have to be alternating. So they're going to alternate. They're going to switch between. So how do we show that they're switching between? Well, let's see if I can do a color here. So this will be, angle 4. And then we need to switch. That means we're going to switch sides. We're actually going to jump on the other side of the transversal. So angle 4 and angle 6. You can't really see it because I've already shaded those in. But angle 4 and angle 6 are called alternate interior. So you see how they're in between the 2 lines and they're switching sides. And the other pair is going to be 3 with 5. So 3 with 5 will be alternate interior. So I'll shade the next one better so you can see. But let me write that down. So which ones are the alternate interior angles? Angles 3 and angle 5. And the other pair are angle 4 and angle 6. And remember, this is all about knowing angle pairs. So like a pair of shoes, you have 2 angles that are important and that are related to each other. We need to know what those are and what their names are. And we're going to learn more about them as we go. So in the next problem, what are we looking at right now? We're looking for alternate exterior. Well, exteriors, we said, was the outside, so I'm not going to shade the circle this time so it looks a little bit nicer. So exterior should be the angles that are out here. So what angles are on the outside of these 2 lines? Well, angle 1 and 2 and angle 8 and 7. And then we need alternating exteriors. So it means we need to switch sides. So if we say angle 1, then we need to switch sides on the other one and go with angle 7. You see how we're still outside, but we're switching sides of the transversal? That's what we're looking for. So on this next problem, we're going to go with angle 2 and angle 8. So these are called alternate exteriors. And you see their locations? They're outside the middle. They're not in the middle, they're on the outside of the lines. All right, let's write those in. So examples of alternate exterior angles are going to be angle 1 with the yellow one with the yellow one, so angle 1 with angle 7, and angle 2 with angle 8. So again, you notice we're writing 2 every time because we're looking for pairs. Pairs. Now there's two more vocab terms that we need to know, so let's do those real quick. These are called same side interior angles and same side exterior angles. So the name kind of tells you we have interior again, so that's going to be inside. So we need to be using the angles that are on the inside. All right, not the ones on the outside. Now they have to be same side. So this time, if they're the same side, so same side, well, that means they're going to be 3 and 5, or 4 and 5, because they're on the same side. They're in between and on the same side. The other one that would work besides that would be 3 and 6. These are inside the 2 lines between M and N, and then they are on the same side of the transversal. Do you guys see that? It's all based off of this transversal. We're on both sides. Okay, that's pretty cool. Not too bad. So let's write these down. So same sides are going to be angle 4 and angle 5, and angle 3 and angle 6. So again, the quicker that you learn these, the quicker that you can recognize these, the easier this unit's going to be. All right, and next units as we go too, because we build on this a lot. So let's take a look at this one. Exterior, meaning the angles we're looking at are going to have to be on the exterior. They're going to be these angle 1 and 2, or they're going to be the 7 and the 8. When they say the word exterior, they mean on the outside, so that we're going to have to be using 1 and 2 and the 8 and the 7. But now we said same side, so we're going to same side, so that means we need to be like 1 with 8, and we can also use 2 with 7, and that's what we're going to use. All right, perfect, easy peasy. So angle 1 and angle 8, angle 2 and angle 7. Okay, so again, that's why you see in this lesson we really need to focus on the vocab of interior, exterior, alternate, and corresponding. Now, your homework today will be nice and simple. It'll be something like this problem while you're identifying. So if you look at this problem, you basically just have to tell us what kind of angles are these. You have an angle here, you have an angle here. First thing I notice when I see this one, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, they're outside of the line, so it's going to have to be, both of them are going to have to be exteriors. So what kind of exteriors? Well, I noticed that they are on opposite sides of the transversal. Here's the transversal, so those are alternate exterior angles. That's what you're going to have to do for your homework today. All right, good luck today.